Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Louisa Havers and I help entrepreneurs and coaches break through their upper limits in life and business. As you are jumping on, let me know that you're here. Say hello so that I can say hi back. Welcome to everybody in the Art of Alignment Facebook group and on our YouTube channel. Let me know whether you're watching on YouTube or if you are watching in the Facebook group. Super excited to be back with you here today. It's been a while since we've done a Facebook Live in here. As you know, I structure our programs and our business so that for the first 3 weeks of each month, that's where we're delivering services, where we're contributing to you in our Facebook groups and on our YouTube channels. And then we have the last week of each month for integration. And of course, March was a month where we had 2 weeks for integration as well. So it's good to see you all again. Let me know that you are there. Say hello. And I'm so excited to share and to kickstart our conversation today around the secret elixir behind your first 100K in business. So let's find out who's here, because I want you to walk away fully understanding what the secret elixir is. And let's find out who here wants to crack the code to having a 6-figure income consistently. Who here has already cracked that code and is on to the next chapter of cracking the code to having multi-6 figures in business and beyond. So are you wanting to crack the code for 6 figures? Pop a 1 in. Oh, I've got an I do. Or if you've already done that and you're cracking the code or wanting to crack the code to having multi-6 figures, that's a number 2, so 1 or 2. So let me know, because I do. Is that for yes, you want to crack the code for 6 figures, or you're on the path to multi-6 figures? If you're not there yet, just relax. It's not your fault. You've likely got some pieces of the puzzle in play, and you just need some key tweaks to help you move the needle forward and to create that momentum for you. The thing is, it's knowing the exact bits to focus on. Does that make sense? So you can help more clients have results, receive multi-6 figures, and have balance and harmony in all areas of your life. You really can. This is universal law. Everything is created in the whole. So if you desire it, you just have to call it in by becoming a vibrational match and bringing yourself into resonance with it. This is where we focus on the 5D, the alignment and the manifesting, and then use the 3D, the vehicle of marketing and the business model, to make it inevitable. So yes, I want to get to 6 figures consistently, I can see in the chat. Yes. And when you have the vehicle for the manifestation to be inevitable, your confidence explodes. It really does. So we all want to be able to fulfill our mission. I know that for everybody in our community, everybody is purpose-driven, heart-centered, here with a mission, wanting to make an impact. Does that make sense? However you're showing up in your business, I know we have artists who channel beautiful healing paintings. We have people, psychotherapists, we have service providers, marketeers, branding experts. Everybody's here contributing to each other. So let me know, what's your business? How do you help people? Let us know. How do you help people, or what is your service? Pop that in the comments. I can see who is here. And of course, if you're catching the replay, please do let me know what your business is, how you're serving people, so that we can see where everybody's at. And what I find is that often people can have, so let's say after, initial growth or initial success, lots of people will burn out and start to question if they have the capacity to grow their business more, if they have the capacity to hold more clients, and if they have the capacity to hold more money. Does that make sense? So programs are programs. The subconscious kicks in because the subconscious works really hard to prove itself right. So if your identity is running a different program to the one that's going to help you get to your 6 figures, the program that is going to kick in to keep you where you're at, it will not stop. It will keep that program running. So things like programs, like you might be holding a program that, to earn more money, I'm going to have to work harder and I will have less time. Does Does that resonate for anyone? Or you recognized, I just haven't got the energy to grow my business. Yet you've got the pull of your soul to make a bigger impact is drawing you towards that desire. And it's creating this push-pull between your higher self, your soul consciousness, and your subconscious. So we've got a moving from NHS to coaching. Congratulations, it's so exciting. I'm a health and wellness coach with a hybrid model of online and some in-person coaching. I'm burnt out after trying to do this for about 8 years. Whew. So this resonates. I believe I'm in the right frequency, but something's off, hence I'm right now in the wealth portal. Yes, hurrah. So excited. Yes, 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 yes. So we want to trade. We don't want to trade serving more clients with having less time with our family, of course. Does that make sense? So we all want to show up and serve. But if we have any illusion that it's going to take more time, then that creates that push-pull as well, because of course it feels like we're going to sacrifice something rather than having that balance and harmony in all areas of life. Does that make sense? Or it has that impact on health. If you can let me know who's here, because it just says Facebook user. So I can't see your name. So if I'm not saying your name, that's why, it's because I can't see. So let me know who's here. You'll have to just type your name in the comments next to the comment that you're typing, so I know who it is. So we don't want to trade serving more clients with having less time, or it having an impact on our health because we're working all the hours. So let's think about this. So just take a moment to think. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all confident and 10 being 100% confident. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you will hit your business goals, your clients will have the results, and you'll have the revenue that you desire, and the balance and harmony in your personal and family life for this financial year? Yay, Tiana! Hello, lovely. Thank you for letting me know that it was you. You're the health coach. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you will hit your business goals, your clients will have the results, and you'll have the revenue that you desire, and the balance and harmony in your personal family life? We want to have it all, right? So drop the number in the comments. So is it a 1? Is it a 10? Is it a 7? Is it a 6? Just take a moment just to be with that. Like, where is my level of confidence? And of course, if you're catching the replay, please do pop the numbers in the comments as well. Carol Kennedy is a 7. Yes. Awesome. Tiana's a 6 because I feel a bit discouraged, but you have faith. Okay, awesome. That was what I was going to ask next, was what is the gap between the number that you've shared? So Carol's a 7, Tiana's a 6, and the 10. What is is it hesitation? Is it resistance? Is it a belief leap? So by that, I mean, it just feels too much of a jump as it's just outside of your current identity, because of course we create everything from our identity. I've been eating pistachios. I feel like one's just got stuck at the back of my throat, so forgive me for coughing. So we have someone's shared 4. So it's okay. So it's a belief leap. So there can be a belief leap. It just feels like it's just too much outside of our identity. And there can be a skill development gap as well. Often I find when people are starting their businesses, they don't, of course, me included, I didn't know what I didn't know. So we don't know what we don't know. And one of the things that I know to be true is that we really do need to always be consistently developing our skills. Does that make sense? And I know people are really passionate about developing their skills in their service offering. So in energy alignment, in Akashic Records, in whatever the modality is, use EFT, Helix method, energy alignment method. There's so many in here. I know theta healing, loads of wonderful modalities that people use, and people are really committed to developing their skills in the area that they're passionate about with their clients. We do also need to develop our skills, of course, in the pieces that are going to create that foundation for our business. And often it can be the fear-based programs or niggle that can prevent us from blooming, and it can be wrapped up in the skill developments as well. So what is the fear-based program? If you just sit with that for a moment and just think, okay, so what is the gap between where my level of confidence is? So whether it's the 4, 10, 7, 10, is it an inner program that I'm running, or is it actually, do you know what, I'm recognizing I need to develop some skills there. And spring is in the air. So the question I have for you is, are you showing up for your next level in business like a nervous tulip? And my tulips are blossoming in the garden now. They are the first sign of spring for me. Everything else is trying to push through, but the tulips are there. They're out there. And of course, the bulbs for the tulips are, planted at different times in the year, some in the winter, and they just lie dormant during the winter. And then the bulbs start to push through. The ground's still pretty hard out there at the moment. And doing all that foundational work, just as they're about to break through, you start to see them peek out of the soil. And as they're peeking out of the soil, their environment is changing from the soil to the air, if that makes sense. So the environment is new, it's unfamiliar, but the tulip doesn't draw back, they continue, because everything that was needed for that next level was already there inside that bulb, meaning that they can thrive. The tulip continues growing. And then, of course, in that new environment, so the environment is, for the tulip, is the sun, the new warmth coming in, the rain, all creating the perfect conditions for growth. So here's the thing, we get stuck in these fear-driven stories that prevent us from flowing into periods of growth and creating these amazing results. And it is our fear-based programs that prevent us from growing, whether it is to that first 100K, the first 250K, the first 500K, the first 7 figures. Every expansion requires an identity upgrade, new paradigms, new vibrational attraction points. So you need both the transformation in your identity to embody the new identity, and of course need the support, the skills, the tools, access to resources to change your perspective so that you can say goodbye to the entrepreneurial hamster wheel. So like the tulip has everything inside, and then has the sun, the warmth, the rain, the soil for its growth, the right environment. So for our purposes, the right environment, this is the business model. The sun, the warmth, the rain, the soil for growth. And of course, we can improve the soil for growth for our tulip with compost. And for us in our business, we can improve our growth with developing our skills. So improve how we're implementing our business model with the skill development. Does that make sense? So we're not in that space of putting loads of effort into marketing and into product development and into program development for it to not produce the results that we intended, and then we just give up disheartened. Does that make sense? So whether it's spending hours on sales calls, sometimes it can be up to 90 minutes, of course, with no sale at the end. And if that's happening repeatedly, is being able to think, okay, so where is it I need to put my focus on for my growth? What is the niggle? What is out of alignment? Or is it a skill development? I remember when I was running the webinar to sales call funnel. So this could be the reality of taking people on their buying journey within a 45 to 90 minute call, where the average conversion is 10%, and it is brutal. After many hours and listening to people, of course, you get better at it, and you can move to, high ratios, 20 to 30%. But that happens over time as, of course, you develop your skills. So the thing I wanted to share here is, you may not get your return on the investment that you've put in, as in the time that you've spent as an investment, until you've run up to dozens of launches or webinars. So breathe easy. If you haven't got the results yet, you likely haven't done it enough. Who here has felt like giving up after their first run on something, whether it was running a 5-day masterclass, a launch, a webinar, however you were launching your offer? If you haven't got the results yet, you likely haven't done it enough, haven't tweaked the right things to improve the results that you're getting. And it is, of course, knowing which bits to tweak along the way, what to focus on, and that can save you hours of time and money. So you're normal. Know that it takes time to see a return. You just simply need to keep refining how you're selling your offerings, and you practice until it's converting to the industry standards, those measures that we can use so that you can know whether, okay, so where do I tweak along the way to get the needle moving so that I can go out and be there with my clients, do the thing that I'm here to do. So who here has worked months on a webinar or their 5-day masterclass only to have it produce a fraction of results? Because it is where that feeling of pushing that wheel round whilst doubting if you're going to get that breakthrough to that next level is exhausting. And it can have that impact, doesn't it? Of course, if you reflect back on where things haven't gone as you desired them to go, what was the impact of that on your self-confidence and trust? It really is this blend of being able to understand how we are getting ourselves into alignment and then implementing through using the 3D tools that we have at our fingertips, and being in alignment with how we're doing that and developing our skills around that. So a question I have for you is, what would happen if suddenly, everybody on the live or watching the replay, if you suddenly had 10 new clients sign up for your program, or 10 new commissions for a new product or painting, for example? Can you work with all of them and stay focused on your zone of genius without working silly hours? Or would you have to work silly hours to get everything done, which would then create that contraction and feeling overwhelmed because your capacity is full, which then creates that roller coaster in your income? So the fear of burnout, I have found, is the biggest contraction I see for entrepreneurs and coaches growing to multi-six figures and beyond, because our subconscious is putting on all the previous evidence and illusions to try and keep us safe. And it's not going to want us to, have courage, bravely step forward if there's any underlying fear of having to do more work to have more money. So the question I always invite my clients to consider is, how can it be easy? How can I be supported? How can I free up where I'm spending my time so I can trust myself and the activities that I'm taking to grow my business and have that faith and certainty in my results, to really master the marketing tools that I'm learning? How can I free up where am I spending my time so that I can expand and to really focus on what is going to create those results? So Tiana's saying, I did a 5-day live workshop in my private group, had a few people participate, 2 people interested in the offer, but they weren't the right fit, and I didn't feel right about taking your money. Beautiful. Integrity is absolutely key. Absolutely key. Yeah, I don't invite everybody to work with me who I speak to. If it's not feeling in alignment, I will recommend that they work with somebody else. If I know someone that I would, could recommend that's, right for what they're looking for, of course. Tiana, yes, I could crush it with 10 more clients in my 4-week group challenge for sure. Yay! Okay, that's really exciting, because often we can hold ourselves back as well by actually not having the systems in place ready to take that influx of clients. And so subconsciously we know that, and there's lots of pieces of the puzzle that we're thinking that we have to do. And so we're kind of putting the brakes on energetically. We're holding ourselves back from that, the alignment piece, if that makes sense. And here's the thing, depending on wherever you are at your, on your journey, you will face different learning curves along the way, of course, in the getting started to creating momentum phase. So let's think of that as the up to that first 100K in revenue, and know that it gets easier after that first 100K. But up to that point, it can feel overwhelming because you're learning so much. You might be tuning into all the free resources. You don't yet know what you don't know, and it's exciting and scary, and you're doing everything. You're learning about your ideal client, about the systems and the websites, creating your services and the programs, and every penny made is reinvested back into the company because you're learning more and more and more, investing into your your first programs, and you begin to learn about alignment and business, and and start to bring in some support. And of course it can feel hard and people can feel exhausted. So it's really important to manage your natural rhythms so that you have that balance and harmony in life. So that as you're in that stage, you can enjoy it. And the key mistake I see people make here is focusing on the wrong stuff. And the most important thing that you can do is building relationships, talking to people, networking, seeing how you can help people and who you can introduce to who, and to invite people to work with you simply over and over and over again. And as you're leading with this all then informs your brand, your messaging, your content. And because you're going to need to get really good at relationships, networking, sales, and your service delivery, your craft, as you're growing with this, all the relationships that you are developing are key foundational pieces for yourself and the businesses that you're working with, for their expansion and growth as well. These are long-term relationships, it's not speed dating, if that makes sense. All businesses are about, developing relationships. You're cultivating relationships with your clients, your team, your consultants, coaches, customers, partners, affiliates, colleagues. Just thinking of all the other businesses out there, vendors, so much more. And of course, there's many ways to build relationships. So if networking events aren't your thing, but when you teach a small group of people and half the room then will work with you, then that's your thing. Or hosting mastermind dinners or attending mastermind dinners, that's your thing. Being able to speak to people in that intimate way, in a relaxed environment. That's the way that you like to build relationships. We all have a unique way of connecting with our potential ideal clients, and whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. So I am a massive introvert. I love being with people, of course, but it's finding the way that works for you. So I love hosting 5-day challenges, even though I'm an introvert, or 5-day masterclasses, depends what you want to call them, and teaching others how to have that same success. I just absolutely love it. I get the opportunity to give, to help people to have an immediate result. And then those that are ready reach out to work with me. And here it truly is, my marketing has done the selling for me, because I'm getting to show up and offer people a way of working with me for free. It's complimentary, it's giving with my heart, and it builds relationships. And I absolutely love doing them. And I think everyone here everyone who's watching on the replay, been part of one of our masterclasses? Would love to know. So just pop a yes, I've been in one. I've attended a few. I know we have many community members who come back time and time again to benefit from those. And I just absolutely love it. Love all the conversations I have with people as I'm hosting them. Of course, it's building relationships. So think about, where do you most like to hang out? And as you grow to your first 6 figures, what you're doing here is you're perfecting your craft. And as you go on this journey, you then get to go deeper on your niche. And as you're going deeper and your business is growing, bringing in that support that I mentioned earlier, because you can grow to 6 figures, of course, on your own, but it is much easier if you can bring in some support. So most likely, people's first hire is likely to be a VA or a technical VA to help you with any of those tech bits. Or it could be a graphic designer, web designer. It depends on your skill set, of course, as well. What may be some, the techie bits was not my skill set, but I actually built my website. Sophie reminded me of it the other day. I was saying that she had done it. She went, "No, Lou, you did that. The first pages, I did that first bit. Now it's got a lot more complicated, of course, and she's done all the complicated stuff. But I actually did it." I was like, "Did I?" Completely wiped that from my memory. But when I first started, Sophie, we've been working together for years now, when she first started working with me, it was only something like 5 hours a month. Of course, now it's like, many, many hours a month as the business has grown. And I often see people thinking about this as they bottleneck in their businesses, rather than knowing before that who is their next hire going to be. So when the budget is in, they go, right, I already know my first hire or my next hire is going to be a VA or a technical VA. So it's creating that energetic space for that person to come in Because as you have it on that radar, of course, or on your radar, of course, and you're out there building relationships, whether you're having networking, virtual coffees or networking, online networking events, or even local networking events, you're likely to attract the person who is aligned to you more easily because you've got it on your radar. People can ask you, who can I introduce you to? And you can say, well, actually, I will be shortly looking for a VA. And so you can start to focus on the relationship and building those relationships before you even get to the point of, formally interviewing someone, if that makes sense. So I have lots of yeses for the masterclass. Hurrah! And then, of course, you have the 6 figures to the 250K phase where you're profitable. Your time is taken up by different aspects of your business. Things change after you get to that point. So this is where you get to have more foundations in place. You can grow moving forward. You build a team around you so you have more support, so you can serve more clients. And for a period of time, your costs will go up before your income goes up. So it can feel like a step back before you move forward again. So I share this, that the breakthrough is on the other side. This is just part of the creation and growing a sustainable business. And because, of course, your time's taken up with delivering, you'll start to notice places where perhaps another team member has a bottleneck, and that's that, like, oh, flag time, we need to review this so that we can expand again. It's so key to have the foundations in place. You can have the structures in place. You can have that sustainable growth, and you have confidence in your results. So relationships are key in your business, and networking, of course, with fellow entrepreneurs who've done it and are on the same journey as you. Some, of course, will be behind you on the journey, some ahead, but we all learn from each other, don't we? And you're in that space to be able to share audiences with each other as well. That's why on Fridays in this group, I really encourage everybody to network with each other. Have a cup of tea with anybody who's offered, whether it's a joint venture opportunity in the Friday post, or they've got a podcast and they're looking for people to interview. Thinking about, well, who can I share and introduce, who will complement my community, so that you can share audiences with each other, share ideas and support, systems, and support each other. And actually, the other illusion to just speak to here momentarily in the online world is where we see those posts from coaches or service providers saying, I've just had a 100K sales day, for example, which is, of course, fantastic. But what isn't highlighted, and I just want to speak to this for people who are newer on their journey, because it's not obvious, from that perspective. Those who are further along completely get it. But it's what's not highlighted is that, yes, the money's come in all on one day, or has come in as an agreed payment plan totals, if that makes sense. And then, of course, the services have to be delivered over time. So the fulfillment of the service is delivered over many weeks and months, but the income has come in or been contracted in all on that one day. Does that make sense? So I just share that because it can be confusing when we see all these numbers on the screen. And yes, of course, we celebrate it because it's about somebody being out there, delivering their services, having a bigger impact, celebrating their growth as they've been, fine-tuning their marketing systems along the way. So we can celebrate them, of course. They're aligned with their marketing. They've done all those fiddly bits so that their ideal clients can find them. But it's knowing that, of course, the coaches, now they're moving into the service delivery part for that income that was brought in. Does that make sense? I just speak to that because I know that it can be really triggering for people some people feel triggered when they see those posts. So I think it's helpful having that context behind it so that it can recognize, okay, what's this bringing up for me? Where am I making myself wrong because I'm not there? But actually, if I recognize that person's just celebrating that they've, had a launch, had some success, and now they're off to serve their clients, how does that now feel to me as I see that post? Does that make sense? Tiana saying yes, sometimes it's confusing, but you get it. Yeah, awesome. So the secret elixir behind your first 100K is that you need both the 5D alignment, so your human Wi-Fi, your consciousness being a vibrational match, your identity being a match to what you desire to bring in, and of course the 3D business model and the marketing in place, so that your manifestation is inevitable. And when we have both, it flows, it's effortless. You've got that alignment with your identity and alignment with how you like to do business. You are magnetic. And it is that thing. I know, Tiana, you were mentioning to me the other day about finding that thing that was like, yes, of course I'm meant to be doing this. I absolutely love doing this. And of course, your energy, you're enthusiastic, you're so excited. That's so magnetic immediately in that flow state, which is wonderful. Because I often see people focusing on so much of the inner work, but not having the right systems in place that will then make it easier for themselves in business. Does that make sense? So that's where we want to be able to have both, when we are embodied in our self-trust and confidence, and we truly allow the balance and harmony in our personal life. That's so that we can have the health and the relationships and the time, precious time with the people that we love. That's so key. And having, of course, the alignment and the peers is critical, I believe, in just eliminating the anxiety and avoiding making the wrong decisions while you're creating that sustainable growth. Does that make sense? So I highly recommend, joining a mastermind where you have support for both the 5D and the 3D, and of course choosing one that fits your needs where you're at this moment in time. So you can see others around you on their journey and having success, and you start to see then your future steps in that now moment as you're learning from others and seeing what other areas of development bubble up for you as you go on that journey, because you can truly see that what you desire is now. It's actually already done, what you desire now. And when you have that self-trust and confidence, because you can see others having those results and you can see the tweaks and the fiddly bits that they've done along the way, whether that's the inner work that they've been working on and the wobbles internally, or whether it's the fine-tuning of all the 3D stuff, I believe that your self-trust and confidence gets stronger and stronger as you have that support around you from your peers. Does that make sense? And then it strengthens your vibrational alignment with the reality that you're creating. We'd love to hear your light bulbs in the comments. What's landing for you from this conversation? And of course, everyone joining us on the replay, would love to hear your light bulbs and reflections from what we're talking about today. Whilst you're taking a moment just to consider what's your takeaway. For those of you that would like my help and mentoring and guidance so that you can make this new financial year the year that you broke through to your next level of impact, then just reach out to me via my website. We have got the Wealth Portal, which is our 12-week program where we focus on working on your relationship with money and your identity so that your manifesting goes through the roof. I support you with any business questions that come up within that parameters as well to support you there. And then we dive deeper in the Infinite Prosperity Collective, which is our 12-month mastermind. And our goal there is to calibrate to making a bigger impact, helping more clients to have the results that change their life. So you're making a bigger impact as you're growing your revenue with that balance and harmony in all areas of your life. And the Infinite Prosperity Collective also features the Wealth Portal. So the Wealth Portal is a natural stepping stone to then step into Infinite Prosperity Collective from that. And if you are ready to step into Infinite Prosperity Collective, then know that you get the Wealth Portal as well as part of that. For the Infinite Prosperity Collective, I should just mention that I have on the page, the overview page, I have a couple of questions at the bottom so that I can know that who's applying and get a sense of where you're at in business. So that's so that I can make sure that you can, you're an aligned fit for the program. And then when I have that information, if it's a fit, I know that we can help you, then I send over the invitation, which has got all the information around the investment and the pay in full options and the payment plan options and the bonuses and all the lovely things. So just pop me a message and we'll get the invitation over to you. And then with that, I just ask people to, and this is really important energetically when you've reached out, is just to make your decision within 48 hours, because you'll know whether this is right for you. And this just keeps the registration process flowing from our end, but also from your end, it makes sure there's no energy leaks. You're not in that indecision, because indecision just drains your energy. Have you ever noticed that, where you're just going round and round in your head? So if you're in that space and you're not quite sure, it's just reach out and ask a question. I just want to help you make an aligned decision either way, because indecision is not a good place for anybody. And so that's why I just say about make your decision within 48 hours so that you can keep moving forward either way. Does that make sense? It keeps your energy flowing. Okie dokie. So thank you for your comments. So taking away the need to create the 3D along with the 5D, and also that it's normal for there to be a dip before bringing in further abundance as an entrepreneur. Yes, huge. So excited to, that's your takeaway. That's fantastic. So yes, love to see your takeaways. And for those of you that are joining the replay, I'll circle back and pick up any questions that you have, and reflect with you on your takeaways. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, the secret elixir behind your first 100K in business is both your alignment within and the foundations that you have for your business, and developing your skills so that your manifesting is it's just inevitable. And you have that fulfillment by getting to do what you came here to do with your ideal clients. So thank you so much for joining me today, sending you all lots and lots of love. I hope that this has served you, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Lots of love. Take care.